Welcome everybody to OP Digital Blueprint and our guests this evening on my whichever way it is. Ivy is here to join us today, Ivy Mix, and of course our very own Redfern. Say hi everyone, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
We're going to pass it straight to Red this evening because Red's always got something to say.
Do you know something? I knew that was going to happen. Fantastic. Welcome everyone. Good to be here once again. Love coming on with Andy Collins and whoever guest it is on a Tuesday. Fits in very nice with my schedule, to be honest. And it's always good to touch base, especially with my other English compadres that are here. That's for sure. Before we get going, then one little bit of Onpassive news. I don't know, or update for sure that you guys maybe know or don't know. And that is the onpassive.com website is offline at the moment. Good news normally. If it means that they're doing something in the background. So keep an eye on that, guys. It's only just gone off over the last half an hour or so. So keep your eyes peeled for when that comes back on. Also today, I did the first in a series of Mondays to Fridays. So the 4-day period of In the Chair. And whilst we are waiting for the restructuring and migration of Onpassive, I thought rather than just coming on and listening to me go on incessantly over and over again, it would be a good idea if I brought people in, especially from UK and Europe, many people that you probably didn't know about, to give them a chance to tell us of their journey and why they got involved in Onpassive. So far, today's was fantastic. We had our very own Victor Ogumbaladi, which us three here know very well. He is a mountain man of inspiration, an absolute firecracker. And we've been very lucky to have him in the UK and to speak at both live events that we've had here. And obviously, moving forward, there will be many others to come. Just in case you didn't know, if you are from UK and Europe and you would like to be in the chair with me, very easy. Just get in contact with me via Messenger or redfern7@gmail.com, and we will get a slot. These two guys, whether they know it or not, they're coming on. So look out for them. They're going to be there as well. And what I try and do is I do try and ask questions about themselves, their past, and what they looked at initially in Onpassive, and what are their views and thoughts about the future. So all good. Also, guys, remember tomorrow Onpassive 360 is scheduled. At the moment, it is for tomorrow. Obviously, our CEO Ash Mufareh always gets an invite, and Marty normally contacts him. And if it is better for him to do it A, on a different day, or B, at a different time than what we normally do it, then we will move it, obviously, because it is important for all of us to see our CEO. So that's about all the updates I've got for you as far as Onpassive is concerned. But let's turn our attentions now back to why we're here, really. Why are we here still positive? Why are we here still engaged in the Onpassive dream? Quite simply is that there is nothing else out there, in my opinion, that is going to stand the test of time. I'm seeing many, many things cross my path, whether they've been sent to me or I've seen them in various other places of other schemes, programs, whatever you want to call it, but they all boil down to the same old. And that is, you need to recruit, you need to get people in to make the commissions on the things that you are pushing. That's not a business, guys. That is not what a business model is all about. A business model is a very simple one that Onpassive certainly understand and realize, and that is, let's make some products that we can go out and sell. very easy business sense, that, isn't it? You know, we all understand how that works. You sell something, you make a commission. We're not hyping it to say, if you sell or get 20 people involved, you are going to earn this amount of money. Then you make another tier and you go into this pot and blah. It's all blah, blah, blah. Very simple mathematics as far as Onpassive is concerned. They produce the products, digital products and services. We purchase them and then we resell them for a commission. They've made it as easy as possible for us to be able to do that by giving us 100% of that commissionable amount back on any first sale of any product, which means you're covered with one sale. And then there's going to be various commissionable amounts on various products that are going to be there. On top of that, there's going to be sales volume. Again, nothing new in business. Sales volume goes on all the time. That's what area managers of car dealerships, bikes, area managers of all sorts of industries work off exactly that. Their sales team go out selling. They make a commission not only on what they sell personally, but also a combined sales quota from the team that they have within them as a bonus. Onpassive is going to be exactly the same. You know, the sales volume of your organization, if it hits the certain targets that are stipulated, you will then make another bonus. Absolutely fantastic. There's no qualifications. Anybody can do this. All you need is either a mobile phone or a computer. That's why I love the simplicity of this business. That's why I love the ability for absolutely anybody and everybody to do this. Obviously, whilst we're paused, then we're not approaching people and telling them about Onpassive because there's no way of them looking into it further. This is where things like this come into line so well as far as keeping the unity of our membership together. In fact, we're more a membership, aren't we? We're a family. Let's say it as it is. Onpassive, we are one big family. If you're engaged, if you are coming to any of the webinars, wherever they are, in whatever country and in whatever language, you are engaged and you are part of the Onpassive family. Very unique, and especially over the period of time that Onpassive has been in as a startup company before we are getting going, to have this amount of people still very, very engaged, still committed to the cause and belief of what we are trying to achieve here in Onpassive is unprecedented. I've never come across a membership family like Onpassive that are positive about what our CEO Ash Mufareh is trying to achieve. And we all get it, don't we? I mean, we were talking off air just a moment ago before we came live with Ivy, and she said that her husband listened to Victor today from all the way through. And she said to him, see, I'm not the only crazy one out there, because he said, everyone's really fired up about Onpassive, aren't they? Everyone's really upbeat about it, about what's going on. Yeah, we are. Why? Because we can see things a little bit differently. We've been on the journey. We've been on the ups and downs of what Onpassive is doing. So we understand a little bit how it all works. But the number one thing is our positivity of what this company is going to do, not only for ourselves individually, the people around us, but also externally from that, for the humanitarian areas and what we can do collectively, individually, to help in the areas that is our passions, whatever it may be. You know, I'm big on the ex-vets. I don't know what Ivy's looking at, or Collins or Andy, but we all have our specific areas that we are looking to help in. Hundreds of thousands of us starting when this gets going, doing that is going to make such a positive impact, isn't it? It really is going to make a huge positive difference to so many communities around the world. And that's how it's going to start. Very small, community-based, us at the lead, doing our little bits and pieces, and then it will start spreading out to get larger and larger. This is what we see in Onpassive. Not only do we see the financial gains that we're going to make from Onpassive, that is going to change our lives to a life of financial and time freedom, but also what we will in turn be able to do to help others and change their lives. And when you have those two concepts put together in one place, and a business that is going to give us the vehicles to do that with, then you know you are certainly in the right place at the right time. Ash has said, and many other people have said, Onpassive is for everybody, but not everybody is for Onpassive. Never a true word was said with that. Why? Because not everybody gets it, do they? Not everybody understands it. Not everyone thinks how we think. And that's absolutely fine, by the way. You know, when nobody's forcing anybody to stay, nobody's forcing anyone to believe in what's going on here or what we can see and what is going to be happening. They can wait. People can sit on the sidelines if they want to. But if you are a true believer, if you are somebody who is totally engaged, you will understand the importance of being here at the starting gate when the light goes green. We are the ones that are going to reap the rewards more fully than anybody else, because we have been here through the journey. We are here to stay, and we are just waiting for that green light to say go. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red.
And I had nothing.
Yeah, I know, as usual. What I want to do is kind of take it back a little bit, and what I'd like to do is kind of let Ivy tell us a little bit more about how she became part of this and where she is, and you know, what brought you to Onpassive, Ivy. Come on, tell us all about your little story.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you. I'm really esteemed to be here, and I'm British, so I'm saying I'm delighted. You know, it's only the British who knows how to say we are delighted. So I'm delighted to be here. And I was telling Andy, I said I was shaking, and believe you me or not, I always tell Maddie, I said, Maddie, anytime I'm called to speak, I'll be shaking. Nobody believes that, but that is the truth. To be among such giants and people I esteem, it's an honor. And when I was listening to Red right now, I was saying, why do we have to speak? We should he should just speak throughout the show, because all the things you're saying is, I just saw a giant bringing us back to who we are, and to remind us of why we all joined. My journey began. I was somebody looking after so many people in Africa. I won't get into how I started that, but my policy was I wasn't going to waste anything. And today was a great day for me, because my husband used to think I was off and collecting old shoes, old wheelchairs, old everything. And he had Victor. Victor said, I've been poor. Are you getting me? We know where we're coming from. So because of where we're coming from, our drive is different. We know how it has been to be poor, and we know it when somebody doesn't have shoes in Africa. So he saw me collecting every kind of thing, and then I would look for a shipper to ship it to Africa. I started with old wheelchairs that were being thrown out from nursing homes. Then I sent it to children who had been abandoned by their parents, like the people with spina bifida. You know, Africa, we don't have the system that helps with, not in a bad way, but like, you know, having those children is hard to care for them. So most of them, we have to put them in another home. So with that, then I started giving out shoes, clothes, and all that. And then what happened? The people I was sending shoes and clothes to, in a very poor village in Nigeria, where I did not come from, but I had done it all over and it had gotten there. She said, Mama, you've been doing this thing for us and you want to do more. We know you don't have the money, but you want to help us. So do you know what they did? They all said, we know somebody that can help you. I said, truly? Can you imagine the people I was helping? The people, and I remember that I had just sent them 8 bags of old clothes and shoes. Then they said, we know a man in America. Can you imagine, from Africa, that can help you? I said, okay, you can let me meet him. And then they gave me, they gave the person who put me in Onpassive the number, and the person called me, said, well, your children in Africa say that you're a good mom and they want to help you. So if you join this organization, it can help you. I said, okay, if they think so. And then they told me it was $97. And the person who lives in New York sent me Bill Williams' tape, the first ones he had when he was sitting in front of his house with a Catmull. I said, well, I'll join this, because I need more money to look after more people, because more people were, the fire was growing. And I just earned the name Mama Ivy. There's somebody in America who would help you. I said, well, if I join this thing and it's going to help me doing what I'm already doing, I've done it for about maybe 6-7 years. And I always thank God that, God, you rewarded me with Onpassive, because I had held my hand out. I was doing it on my own. I wasn't spending any money. Truly, up to this day, I'm just collecting old things. I'll tell people, give me all the clothes and shoes in your house that you don't like. I'll send you the bags. We bag them and we send them to Africa. Every day now is speaking on. So many people are saying, Ivy, I said, yeah, send me what you don't need in your house and I'll send it to Africa. So that's been my journey in Onpassive. That's how I came to Onpassive.
Excellent. That's great, Ivy. I would want to come back to you in a little bit, and I'm going to let Collins kind of take over in a minute. But one of the things we talked about on Sunday, for me, I talked about regret. Not in a negative way, but in a positive way, because I've done many things had been in positions many times in my life where I've actually regretted not doing something. Yeah, I lived in South Africa for a few years, and I got the opportunity to go to the Kariba and the Kabora Basta, and I never went. The Vic Falls, I never went, because I always found an excuse because we were working, etc. And I really regret that. And I made a conscious decision a number of years ago to not do that everywhere I've been since. So I've worked in many other countries since then, and I've seen and done a lot of things that I would never have done or would have missed out on if I hadn't have come to that. But really, this comes back to what we're talking about with Onpassive, because at the end of the day, this is one of the things I would have regretted for the rest of my life if I hadn't have got in at the time I did. And I feel sorry for those people that eventually will get in, but I feel sorry for the fact that they've missed this part of it. This is the best part for me, the journey getting here and meeting all of these people and becoming, as Red said, part of the family means more than just, coming along and setting up a business once Onpassive is up and running. And I think there's a lot of people are going to regret not getting in, not seeing what we've seen. And I think that's a bit of a shame. But Collins, free flow, my friend, across to you.
Yeah, I just like the way Red put it, and our sister Ivy. It was really great, because just the topic, why are we in Onpassive? Why am I in Onpassive? If I look at it, when I joined Onpassive, it was because of trust and belief. I trust in what Mr. Mufareh is doing, and I believe in the project. And believing is because I know it will change not only my lives, but the lives of many. Those who are willing to join Onpassive. Like Red made a very clear, statement. He said, Onpassive is built for everyone, but not everyone is for Onpassive. That is true. Those who choose to come in, they will win. Little things that we do in Onpassive, gives a lot of energy to our CEO, Mr. Mufareh. You don't have to do anything. We are not building anything, but the little encouragement, being part of the journey, like Andy said, being part of the journey, because only if you are part of the journey, you can learn more. You'll be able to know what is happening. Though we don't know the mechanics behind the scene, but just being in this great family, joining webinar like Red Live. Red always give good updates. Madi Digamo and Chris, there are many lives out there. But the ones that I can say you can learn more, Madi and Chris, and Red, I always go and watch. Even if I miss it, I go back and I watch and say, okay, what is new? Maybe I've missed something. And that's the only way we can learn, because they are always on top of it. These guys are always on top of it. They don't sleep, they look and they dig information, they look around what is happening. I didn't even know the website was down. Red just announced it now. And I was like, wow, this is it. Because Tanya put it, I said, no, but is it true? I refreshed my screen. I just said, maybe there is something. But Red said it. So, things like this, it keeps you, because this is part of the journey. There are founders and affiliates who doesn't even know that the website is down, or even when they took it down and they're doing the migration and stuff. Some founders don't know. Some of them just call and said, oh, I've tried to log in and things are not working. I click on the login. What is happening? Have they deactivated my account? They said, oh, you see, you are not even part of it. So the journey is about learning. All is about learning, because the more information you gather, the better for us. Some founders will just click the pop-up. They will not even read the pop-up and say, oh, we are now migrating. Some people don't even care. The moment they click and there's nothing, they don't even care and say, oh, I cannot log in. We just need to be part of it, because this shows those who are really in it and those who are out of it. There are people who are in it and there are people who are out of it, though they are founders, but they are not in it, And the family, like Ray said, we have built around us is really greater than any other thing, because these are the people you will celebrate with when things happen very soon. These are the people you'll be calling and you'll be crying, because who will be thinking about the time, the journey, like Ray said, the ups and downs. There are people who never know there was ups. There are people who never know there was downtime, or because they have never been in it. They have never been part of the journey, so they don't know what is happening. They have never created any community like the family of Onpassive. Are you really engaged? Are you part of the family of Onpassive? Because these are the people you will celebrate with as things move on. But to do that, we must exercise patience as well, because this comes with a lot of patience. There are people that, if you ask me now, from the day I joined, has my belief and trust withered or dropped? I said, no, it is even becoming more stronger and stronger, because the more I stay, the more I believe in this process. Because as I said, the tougher the battle, the what? How do you put it? Red will say, the tougher the battle, the more zeal you want to achieve it, And Ash always make that statement that
the sweeter the prize.
Bottom, very yeah, to pick up. And this is my drive, to see how like Red said, we want to see the end of Onpassive. We want to be in this journey to see the end product, and the end product, honestly, I believe it will be greater than what we are seeing now. Because if someone thinks Mr. Ash Mufareh will give up, then you are just wasting your time, because he was born not to give up. His dream, he will fulfill it. And we want to see the fulfillment of Onpassive. That is why I'm in Onpassive. And that's why I'm fired up. Like Ray said, every time we see our CEO, it is even much better for us, because he is not going anywhere. He will do it and he will succeed in this mission. So those who are still doubting, it means you just living, you don't have a story or a history to tell. But we are making history. Onpassive is making history. And these people here will celebrate that history, because they will tell the story. All of us will tell our own story of Onpassive. So I'll give it back to you, Andy.
Nearly forgot then. Yeah, muted again. Thanks, Collins. Yeah, it's interesting. Over the years, I've met many, presidents, vice presidents, managing directors, CEOs, etc. But I've never come across a man quite like Ash. Because at the end of the day, the vast majority of the guys that run businesses have one focus and one focus alone, and that's the business and nothing else. Now, Ash, for me, seems to have not only the focus for the business, but the focus for everybody that are part of it. And that is so different to anything else I've ever come across. And that's why I became part of this. Just listening to him speak was good enough for me. the thought of and the fact that this man will not give up is it. Out of the million odd people that we've got in Onpassive at the moment, I could guarantee that 99.99% of those, if put in the same situation that Ash has been put in over the last 4 or 5 years, would have given up a long time ago. A long time ago. Red, I'm sure you've got something else to add, so over to you.
I've always got something to add as far as Onpassive is concerned, and Collins is extremely right, isn't it? You know, the most important part for me of Onpassive is who is the person who's at the front of us, who's the guy that's in charge. And, you know, we know it's Ash Mufareh. We know that he is not going to give up on our dreams, and he's certainly not going to give up on his dream. If you remember, many a time he's told us what he wants to be remembered for, and it's certainly not to be the richest man in the graveyard, is it? You know, he wants to be remembered for that person who made a difference with humanity, who's made a difference to how people do business online and all the rest of it. This is his drive. I mean, what gets him out of bed in the morning is knowing that we're behind him. And that is 100% true. I've had conversations with the guy and he's told me this. You know, we are his zest for doing what he is doing. He gets beaten up on a daily basis from every single corner of every single bits of the business that's out there. If you can say it, he's probably been beaten up by it. You know, anything. The trouble with business is always the same. When people have ideas of projects and how to make a business, and when they start putting it together, you end up going down areas and avenues and rabbit holes that you never interpreted or expected. Onpassive has been no different. And especially when they're trying to do something on the scale of what they're doing, which is globally from the off. Remember, most companies start in one country. They start in one country and they spread out over a period of time to become global businesses. We've decided that we're going to be global from day one. And that encounters an absolute minefield of legalization, legislation, and documentation that has to be I's dotted and T's crossed for every individual country. How people receive funds, for instance, how people are allowed to do business in that country online with Onpassive. Every single country has different regulations and different interpretations of those regulations. That's just one area. Couple that with opposition, other companies, opposition within the business itself, founders, members, and the list goes on and on and on. He's doing this on a daily basis. Why? Because he wants to be remembered for that guy. He wants to be remembered like in the same sort of way as Gandhi and Mother Teresa and who else can I name? Anyway, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Martin Luther King, good one. That's the guy I was thinking of actually. So he wants that accolade put to his name. He wants to be remembered for the guy who basically turned the internet business model upside down on its head and did things for the right reasons with the right ethics for the humanitarian and what we can do and achieve. This is coupled with our support of him is what drives him forward. And as he said all the way along, hasn't he? Do it or die. We either succeed together or we fall together. Now, obviously, we want the first one. We don't want the last one. But one thing's for sure, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is that he will go to the ends of the earth to try and pull this off. Whatever it takes, he will do. However long it takes, he will keep on driving forward because he owes it to himself, but more importantly, he wants us to succeed as well. That's it from me. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks. So, Ivy, I'm sure you've got a few points that you might like to add about what we've discussed today.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I am very happy with Ash, and he is our hero. And we have been in this company because of his example. And also, we have learned from each other, just like Red was saying. I like the word he used, family membership, a membership of family. That's a new term that I'll hold on to. You can find it nowhere in the world where there is the business, where any business declines, so when there's a hold, everybody scatters. But here we've all rallied around. We're still here. And that is so important. And so those of us that have learned and are still learning, like Colin said, we get a lot from Maddie, Red, and Chris, and the people who are always in the know. So you always have to attach yourself to them. You know, my husband was asking me, why don't you wait and listen later? I said, no, I want to give him my support. He said, well, you're not in the same country. I said, no, the spirits are connected. I said, Onpassive, we have a bond. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know I'm listening in, but I will just listen in live when I can. So it is a bond, just like when you have to speak to somebody on a live connection. So that is so important, just to give your heart and your spirit and your time to this thing, even just thinking about Onpassive, thinking about it in a positive way. So I just have acronyms. At times I tell myself, A is for an arrow. A is Ash. He has shown us the way. So anytime you see a letter A, you recenter yourself. There are things that we have to do to bring our minds back. There are things that we have to do just not to be distracted, because there are so many distractions. People are coming with every kind of thing. Well, this thing has delayed. No, I am standing at A. A is the first. I'll tell myself A is the first letter of the alphabet. He's the first man and he's going to be the last. There's not going to be anybody else. So you have to have acronyms. You have to come to the webinar. You have to have one word that centers you. Anytime you see a letter A, anytime you see an arrow, you tell yourself he's the pointer. He's pointing me to my freedom, to myself. Just like Red was saying, why are they getting people to have private discussions with, like he did this morning with our brother from Nigeria? It's a talent hunting. Everybody has gold. Who does that? It's Ash that has brought us to this. I've been in companies where if you don't sell $1 million, you can never talk to the leader. If you don't earn a certain rank, you can never go to a certain party. No, here the party is open for all of us. The party is open for you. Are you going to show up? Are you going to show up? Are you just going to show up with your heart, with your mind? Just focus. Just look at that A. Look at that Ash. How far he's brought us. I'm just so happy to be in this company. And like we said on a certain webinar, it's called a company of help, of family. What does family do? Family, we help each other. So just in case somebody is doubting, just be in touch. I go back to our brother David this morning. Red said it. He said, whenever you're feeling down or you're in doubt of something, be in contact with him. So thank you very much that we have a strong support system, and it's all because of Ash. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy. Brilliant. It's interesting you say about the support group. I like that. I think that's a fantastic way of looking at this, because that's exactly what we have got. Members of the family, we are one big support group, and we should be supporting every other person that we know is part of our groups to make sure that they get or understand what is actually happening, what is going on, and how excited they should be about what's about to happen. Because, yeah, okay, it takes a little time. And some of us, like Red, have been in a long time, 6 years. But I'll tell you what, 90% of those people, if they'd have known when they first came into Onpassive, if they'd have known it was going to take 5 years, they'd have gone, no, I'm not interested in that. That's a shame, because as I said, we're all being part of this wonderful journey, and we've met so many people along the way. Now, Ivy, you've missed out on this, but we've had 2 events in the UK, one at Worcester and one at Manchester, and it's really lovely to meet all of the faces behind the screens. You know, I mean, you look at Red and you think he's probably about 5'4". Well, he's not. He's about 6'4". He's a big boy. Collins is just lovely. But it's really wonderful to actually get together with all of these different people that we would never ever have met in any way, shape or form without being brought together by this wonderful setup that we have with Onpassive. Collins, what would you like to add, my friend?
Yes, thank you, Red. Red said something and it came back to my heart about Onpassive. You know, I always think about the journey of Onpassive every time I look at it, because the journey of Onpassive have taught me a lot about Onpassive. And I can define Onpassive in several ways through my journey of Onpassive. I came to realize that Onpassive is about trust. It is trust, because we trust in the process of what Ms. Mufareh is doing. It's about trust. And then the second is belief. You know, we believe in what he is doing because we know what will come will change everything, change our lives and everything. You know, the entire globe, for those who want to be part of it. You know, it's about patience too, because remember, the journey, you must be patient. Look at Red. Red has been here for almost 6 years. He is waiting patiently. You know, the drive is still there. If you ask, why is Red still here for after 6 years? It's because of that patience, that belief and trust. I may have more than 4 years, 4.5 years. It's because of the same thing. You know, it is about love. Onpassive teach us how to love ourselves. You know, become family. You know, you love people, and the love comes down right from Mr. Mufareh. Because of love of humanity, he decided to embark on this journey. It's about humility. Look at Mr. Mufareh. You know, he comes to the founder, talk to them, you know, treat all of us like brothers and sisters and everything. You know, humility. You know, Onpassive teach me about hope. You know, you hope for something because we know that what is coming is bigger than what we think. Because the journey, we've learned a lot. It's about kindness. You know, Onpassive have just transformed us to be kind. You know, we're thinking about what will we do after we fill our tank, we've achieved what we can. Because remember, we came for time and financial freedom. When you have the financial freedom and you have the time, because the Onpassive will give you the time freedom, what will you do with that time? You want to exploit the world, you want to help others. That is kindness. You know, so these are the things that I can draw from my journey of Onpassive. You know, trust, belief, patience, love, humility, hope, and kindness. You know, these are the things. But if you miss the journey, what will happen? You will think about just the apple, what you will feel, the tank that you will feel, because you don't even know the magnitude of Onpassive. So you'll be thinking about, let me fill my tank and disappear. That is the mindset we all came with. But Onpassive transforms us to all of this because we know what is coming is bigger than what we came initially. What our thinking initially have changed immensely. Because I came in to make as much and disappear. But what happened through the journey have just transformed me to see Onpassive more than what I think. And now I'm just like happy about what, you know, the journey is really is the best for me. And I'll just leave it there.
Thanks, Collins. What I think is funny, and Marty mentioned this the other day, which did make me giggle, and then it also kind of brought it home to me. I've got lots of friends that have kind of looked at me, and initially I've told them about what's going on with Onpassive. They've looked at the negative side of things and not taken it any further. Now they're questioning why I'm still in, why I'm still so excited about it, and I find that so amusing. It's like, you've got no idea. But I'm not going to go back through the last 4 years and tell you what's gone on. So, you know, it's up to you. Red, any final comments?
No, not really. Just stay the course, guys. See it through to the end. You owe it to yourselves to see this one through. And that's my advice to you. Obviously, you can make your own choices, but I am certainly going to make sure that I see this through to the end. I deserve to know how it all pans out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ivy, have you got anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I just want to say, like Red said, we stay to the end because I came in crawling. Now I'm more than walking. I'm more than jumping. I'm telling you, I came in jumping. I came in crawling. People don't believe it. You know, you're seeing the Ivy now have been cooked by Onpassive, well cooked, well seasoned. That's what you're seeing, and that's what you're going to be getting. And I've come to a place where I'm not going to be used to make other people's journey, but I'm useful. You're not used, you're going to be useful. I'm useful. If I hadn't been here, I wouldn't be on this panel. I'm being useful. I'm being useful. And then the last thing I'll say too is this unity that we found, we are not going to break it. We're not also going to let anybody go. And like I said, always just put your hand up. Say your name. All the friends we made. I made friends with the gift of Onpassive. I didn't even know who she was, but her name was always in the chat. Show your face. Put your hand up. Say something. Pass a comment. Because the great people, when they put on these webinars, they know you. They appreciate that you're here. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. And really, really, really thank you for this honor on having me here.
You're more than welcome, Ivy. Please come again. Collins, have you got anything final that you'd like to add?
Yeah, so we just have to stay focused and we are fine.
Perfect, perfect. I think what I'd like to add is don't regret. Okay, the whole point of where we are today is stay the course. If you don't stay the course, you'll regret it for the rest of your lives. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening and afternoon in certain parts of the world, and we'll be seeing you again next Tuesday. Don't forget, Reds, tell them, Red, when are you on again?
I'm on tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tomorrow we got Martin Hopkinson, Hoppy to his friends. He came to both our events with his dad, and he's from up, where's he up from? Lincoln. No, further up more than that, from Leeds end. So it'd be good to hear from him, and we'll listen to what he's got to say. Thursday, we've got Tanya Onpassive coming on, and then Friday, we have an opening at the moment.
I'm not here, I'm afraid, but excellent. Okay, and don't forget Sunday. Sunday is Heroes. So please come and join us then.
Heroes.
Thank you all for coming, and please like and share and share this with other people. Thank you.